welcome you to a very special episode of, this is a Rox-TV exclusive. This is a Rox-TV special about mental illness. It's called Mental Illness and Not to Be Embarrassed About. And I'm here right now with my brother, Andrew Valdez. He's also known as the Hood Picasso, one of the greatest artists that you'll ever know. And I mean that from the bottom. I'm not saying that because he's my brother either. He's legitimately really good. And besides that, he also is he's a community activist. He's also someone who everybody in the neighborhood knows Drew. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. Everybody does. And we found out around the same time that we both suffered from mental illness because of some of the trials and tribulations that we went through. And Drew, what's up, man? How you doing?
How you doing out there? Facebook Live. We're here at the headquarters at Rox-TV, and we're going to try to put this special on for you. And hopefully we can reach out to somebody out there and help them out.
So, Drew, it was many years ago that you first off, you were going through some stuff in your personal life, and whatever you want to share with people, that's cool, and whatever you don't want to share, that's cool. However, at that point is where you found out that that you had some mental issues that you had to deal with. You want to tell us about it?
I've been suffering for years with depression, and I was seeing a psychiatrist for a little bit, and they put me on some medication to try to get through the everyday ups and downs that you go through when you're on depression. And to me, the medication didn't work for me,
right?
But that doesn't mean it doesn't help out. Some of the side effects that affected me differently, I had to stop taking the medication. But I continued with the therapy, and there's always somebody out there that you could talk to, especially on the days that you feel really low, and you just have to reach out. You can't sit there and do nothing.
Tell me about your lowest point, man. Where you felt it was your lowest point, where you felt that you had to go and get help. Finally, you had to, as a man, look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Damn it, I gotta do this. I gotta get help."
But one of the lowest points in my life, there was actually two low points that really triggered all of this. I lost my wife. We got divorced, and I was addicted to Vicodins. And back then in the days, you could get it around the corner.
Sure.
Everybody had it. And it's why one of the reasons it's not around today. I mean, you have to really have a doctor that thinks you need it. But
yeah, you have to really be like, you have to have a broken pelvis to get something like that. Yeah.
But like I said, it was easy access, and I just got addicted to them and was taking a lot of them. And I started seeing psychiatrists then, and it helped me get over it. And I'm not recommending this to anybody. If you have an addiction, get help.
Yeah.
Don't be hard-headed like me. I did it on my own.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to be like a macho man or whatever. I did it on my own. I stopped completely, and I wouldn't suggest anybody doing that.
But would you say that was the cause of the loss of your marriage?
No.
Or was it just that helped?
The reason I was feeling down, and because of splitting up with my wife, and
yeah.
But and I turned to the Vicodins.
Right.
And, at the time, I thought they made me feel better, but it just worsened the situation.
Well, those things kind of make you just feel numb. So you know, so then you don't have to really feel those feelings that you felt. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
And another time that I can recall is when I went through a bad time with the twins and Antonio's mother. And
so these are your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I wasn't able to see them like a regular dad could,
Yeah, I got you.
I had to have third-party visitation, and it just got really bad. And, I'm not blaming nobody, but, the excuses did start coming,
Sure.
Oh, no, I have plans, and all that. So I have a daughter in Houston, and she came up here, her and her mom came up here to stay with me in Flat Rock. I lived out in Flat Rock. I moved out there thinking I was going to be, better
Everything
position,
Yeah.
And, I just started drinking really heavily. I was probably about 2/5 a day.
Wow. What were you drinking?
Vodka.
Wow.
And I just stayed in the apartment drinking. And, if it probably wasn't for Melinda, I probably would have drank myself to death, She would be on my ass. Oh, excuse the language.
No, it's cool.
But, and I had my daughter with me, and we had our fun times, but I was just out of it most of the time. And I started going through therapy again and seeing a psychiatrist again. And that's when they put me on Cymbalta.
And tell us about Cymbalta. What's that?
They give it for several reasons. You could have, the main one is depression, of course.
Okay.
But they'd give it to like fibromyalgia patients and people with joint problems. It's supposed to help with the pain.
Gotcha.
But there are side effects, like I said, and I just had to stop taking. My body wasn't overcoming the side effects.
Right.
I don't know that my mind was any clearer, or at least I thought it wasn't. So I continued my drinking, and there was days where I wouldn't even get out of bed. I've gone countless days without eating.
Wow.
And I know a lot of people that are on my Facebook friends and all that, they always see I'm posting food. But when I post that, that's when I ate. And then I go a couple days without eating again, and then maybe I'll eat, and then I'll post it. But I don't eat as much as everybody thinks I do. I'm more of a closet, I don't know what the word is, but I don't eat. People think I do. I'll eat like a Slim Jim or something in front of everybody, so they think I'm still eating, but normally I don't eat.
But now let me ask you that. So, and this is happening now? This eating disorder?
Yes, this is happening now.
So let me ask you this: do you feel like this is because of your mental state, or do you feel like your body just doesn't need the nutrition that normally would?
I've been to the doctor lately, and they got me a few medications. Like my thyroid is out of whack. So I've been taking my thyroid medicine here lately, and I feel better.
Yeah.
People a lot don't know that thyroid affects your depression.
Really?
It affects your, it gives you fatigue, mood swings. Like you could be smiling one day, and then the next day you wake up and you just are so down, you just want to cry.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's been times I didn't even want to get out of bed, dude. And I always said I wanted to find inner peace. And when I was in Flat Rock, and I just figured if I drank myself away, that I would find that inner peace. But never really worked.
No, of course not. Let me go back to your previous relationships. Do you maintain a relationship with your baby's mothers right now, or is that something that and do you have a relationship with your children?
I just started talking back to a few of them, but it's not 100, the way it should be. And
Sure.
I know people say this, but you have to work on yourself. I don't think I'm in any mental condition right now to have a fully functional relationship with them, but I'm trying,
Yeah, yeah.
It's just, I mean, you go on so long, like just partying and doing things that it's hard to break.
Yeah, sure.
They recommend that you do not quit cold turkey. And I'm not going to lie, I've been to rehab before. It doesn't work for me.
Right, right. We talked about that off camera.
Yeah. A lot of people don't look at alcoholism as a disease or anything. When I was at the rehab, there were guys in there who smoked crack and cocaine and whatever.
Sure.
They were on heroin, and they would laugh at me, kind of belittle me because I was only there for alcohol,
Wow.
And I felt like, I wasn't getting the help, that I needed. And you have to recite all these sayings, one day at a time and all this. And it just felt like nobody in there meant it.
It seems like, and I'm not putting down any of those programs at all, because I've never been to one. But however, my friends and family who have been to them, it seems like you just go through the motions, like kind of like when we used to go to church when we were kids, go to Catholic church. You said the Hail Marys, you said the Our Fathers and all that, and you weren't really getting nothing out of it.
Right.
But you're just going through the motions to get through this. And so the people that were there, was it the counselors that were kind of belittling you, or just?
No, it was just some of the other patients.
Okay. How long did you do there?
I did 90 days.
Uh-huh.
And I went there because I had to. It was court ordered.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go there for myself. And that was my attitude going in. But certain aspects of the program I liked. And, after a while you get friendly with a few people. And, I mean, I don't like to judge people. I mean, whatever your vice is, that's what you do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some of those people I did get to talk to. And towards the end, it got better. But I don't think they really take alcoholism seriously.
Yeah. That's a shame, too.
Yeah.
That's a real shame. When we decided to do this special, we decided to do it not only for us, but we really decided to do this for, and this is for everybody, by the way. This whole special today here is for everybody. But especially for the Chicano community, the Mexican community, the Latino community, the Hispanic, if you will, community. And the black and brown, because we're always programmed when we were young kids that we are machines, we are strong, we don't need people to help us, we don't need psychiatrists, we don't need to talk to people. You just get off your ass and you do what you got to do, and that's it, And that's why a lot of our people die from alcoholism and drugs.
Right.
Because they're not they're again programmed like I was and you were. We're programmed to, we don't need help, we can do this on our own, don't worry about none of that. And those of you who are out there who don't know my story's simple. It's not simple, it's far from simple, but I lost a marriage of 28 years. I lost a best friend. I lost someone who I loved dearly, and she found someone who was showing her attention that I wasn't showing, and mine wasn't alcohol or drug related. Mine was because in the mental state that out of all of my father, my uncles, all of my male role models. That's all they did for years and years and years is cheat on their family, and cheat on their women and all that stuff. So it's like become normal, and me and Carlita, we call it the Hill curse. And so finally, you know, after years and years and years, she got fed up with it, and she found someone else. And you know, because I've reached out to you several times, that it really messed me up to the point where, and I never thought this would happen. But for those of you who I haven't shared this with, I'm sharing it to you right now. That one day I seen her with this person, her friend, and it just blew my mind. And I wound up going to this hotel that I was staying at, and I went to the liquor store. I got me a case of Modelo, and I had a bunch of pills that I've already had. And I had taken 56 Tylenol PMs at one time. I took 22 Vicodin at one time, and I took 8 morphine pills at one time, and I drank this half a case of beer, and I started texting everyone goodbye, telling them I love them, this and that, and I refused to press send until I could feel myself fading away. This is how serious I was about dying, Drew, and I'm not proud of it. I'm totally not proud of it, but I could feel myself fading. So I got my speaker and my phone, and I just started blasting Prince. And I just started sending, pressing send, pressing send, pressing send, to the point where I could feel myself fading out, and I was out. And luckily, my granddaughter got a hold of the message first. And she had the Romulus Police Department come to the Travelodge and kick the door in, and of course they administered CPR on me and everything. And next thing you know, I woke up in Belmont Hospital in Romulus, and I was like, "What happened?" And they explained to me what happened, and that point on, Drew, I knew I was vulnerable. And there was something mentally wrong with me. Anyone who tries to take your own life, there's something definitely wrong with you. And again, there's no judging here, man, because when I woke up, I had these tubes down my throat, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? I don't know what's happening here and there. And but the fact of the matter is that even to this day, let me say this, even to this day, that it still hurts that I lost my family, because not only did I lose my wife, I lost my kids, I lost everybody. And my mother-in-law and people that I generally care for and love. Right. And everyone just got fed up with my shit, you know. And but the bottom line is that at that point, from that point on, I started to, and this doesn't mean that, let me tell you something, on a daily basis, that I don't get up and cry in the morning, because I do, because I miss my family, and I miss friends that were close to my family that no longer have a relationship with me. And but there also comes a time where you have to forgive yourself, where you have to say, you know what, I messed up then. I can't control then. Yesterday is over there, Drew. Right. It's there. Tomorrow is there. I can control what happens tomorrow. I can control what happens right now in front of me. But what I did in the past, man, I can only say I'm sorry is all I can say. And so I started seeing a psychiatrist and 2 therapists and my minister, Minister Troy Mohammed. And it helped. And it helps so much, man. And I learned these exercises on how I could mentally, prepare myself and be right. And within 1 month, I lost 22 pounds because I started eating right. And I started doing some exercises and stuff to get my mind off of everything. And just like you, I was prescribed medication that some of them just didn't work for me. They made me feel ill. They made me feel worse than what I felt, Right. And again, I'm not discouraging anyone from taking their medication, because you should take your medication. But some people, it's not for you, or you need an alternative than what that is. And before we go any further, though, I do want to tell you that if you're in the Detroit area and you're looking for some help, I urge you to call Chaz Clinic. And they're in Southwest Detroit at 5635 West 4th Street in Southwest Detroit. The number 313-849-3920. They do not turn anyone away. You have insurance, no problem. You don't have insurance, no problem. They are going to fit you in. They're going to do right by you, and they're going to show you that, hey, you can have help. And I recommend Chaz, and I also recommend the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army is another place, However, when you go to the Salvation Army, you're going to have to work while you're there, right?
I didn't go to that one. I went to the I can't think of the name, the Hope one right there off the 75.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to work, but I wanted to go to the one on
4th Street.
4th Street.
Yeah, in downtown.
Yeah, I did some community service there. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I mean, you got to work off your debt, and then they helped you out.
So let me ask you something, Drew. I mean, we all know that you're a great artist, and we just talked about that a little while ago. Is the art a part of your therapy right now?
Yeah, it is. I'll sit in my room and just start painting, and whatever comes up, and it's very soothing. I even have tried to get out of my comfort zone, and I'll go outside and sit in the yard, and people passing by, watch, looking, whatever. And
sure.
I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone. So, I mean, being outside painting is a lot more relaxing, actually.
Really?
Because you get the fresh air.
Yeah.
And
I never knew this about you.
Yeah. I've been doing that lately.
That's great.
I've been it's been helping out a lot lately. I've come up with some new pieces in the last couple weeks, so I've been working a little bit hard,
Do you have any thing coming up where the people can come and see your art, or where they can find you and all that good
tomorrow
stuff?
We're going to be at the Michigan Squeeze Station on Michigan Avenue.
In Detroit, Southwest Detroit.
In Southwest Detroit, yes. Newly painted building, too, so now you can find it. All you got to do is look for the cactus. This weekend, we're going to be at the Hamtramck Fest.
That's right. That's right.
Joseph Campo in Hamtramck.
And all of your art will be on display and for sale.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And I got to tell you something, man. You're one of you're one of the most humble artists that I know. Because most artists that I know, they're charging hundreds and even thousands, and you make it so that everyone can enjoy art.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Why is that important to you?
I feel like I grew up in Southwest Detroit, so I know about hard times. I know, watching the kids in the suburbs, they've always had the cool stuff, and I know there's kids out there, and even my peers, who want something nice but just can't afford it. I mean, the struggles in life, especially now with the pandemic.
Yeah.
Some of you ain't working. Whatever the case is, you know what I mean. But I would like to have a painting in everybody's house in Southwest Detroit, if that's possible.
Yeah.
And I make it affordable for them to enjoy this art.
Yeah.
And there's always they say you buy the piece that talks to you,
Yes.
You got to have it. And there's been a lot of pieces where people have walked by and said, I need that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And then they buy it. And because that pieces that something it said something to
That's
them,
gotta make you feel good that
Oh, yeah.
that your art is in their home.
right? Yeah, it makes it real proud. I mean, I've donated a few pieces to people and raffled them off for benefits. So I'm not opposed to donating to the community.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you got a benefit coming up and would like a painting, I could probably work something out with you, and we could raffle it off, and hopefully it helps you out.
Absolutely. So back to the mental state and whatnot. Do you you mentioned that you have not the type of relationship you'd like to have with your kids. However, but you are building.
Yeah.
You're building. What's that build like? What's that about? Is that maybe a phone call here or there, or is that maybe lunch? I don't.
Phone call, text. Lunch. It's a lot of. You have to reach out to them, and at least, I mean, even if you don't get a text back or they're busy with their own lives, as long as they know you're thinking of them, they'll come around, and it's just you just gotta keep trying.
You hear that? That's true. For those of you out there who are having similar situations like my brother and I, you can't give up, and that's the thing. Even with my relationship with my ex-wife and whatnot, we don't have the best relationship. However, when it comes to the kids, I always shoot them over a text just to say I love you, because I don't really get to see them as much as I would like to, and unfortunately, and I don't know how this sounds, and really I don't care because it's only the truth. The women usually are the ones that have the say so when it comes down to the children, which to me and to a lot of other people is bullshit. But again, that's just how it goes. Yeah. And so it had been 3 months since I'd seen Santana until this last weekend when we were all at the carnival and wrestling, and to spend that time with him and to let him know, hey, even though you may not have known it, but I've sent you these texts and I've sent you letters and whatnot, and that was important to him, more important than him riding on the roller coaster with me or something like that. Right. Although we had a good time laughing and that was the thing is, and I'm telling you out there who's listening, if you get that relationship back with your kids, the most important thing is to live for that moment. Don't think about back in the past. And one thing that my problem was, and this is the truth, Drew, and I don't share this with very many people. My problem was back in the past was I would ask Santana, so who's your mom with? What's his name? Blah, blah, blah. And that's not fair. That's not fair to the kids. And I've learned that. And again, because of the people that are in my life, my son Carlito and my daughter-in-law Christiana, these two people right there, they've taken me under their wing, Drew. I had nowhere to go. I was homeless. Right. And they brought me in and they fought for me, and I don't want to ever let them down by doing that to his brother. Right. Hey, what's your mom doing? Who's she with? Where's she going out? None of that BS. So it's important to live for the moment. It's important to live for the moment. Now, however, and again, this is, we're just shooting it straight here. Right. Was there ever suicide contemplations?
Yeah, there was once. I didn't. Only 2 people knew about it. I didn't even tell you. I don't think. But I took a bunch of heart medication pills, and
What triggered that, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't even remember.
Wow.
The day that well. I just woke up one day and was just like, didn't feel it. And I took all these pills, and I slept for 2 days. And when I woke up, actually I slept for about a day, and when I woke up, I couldn't stop throwing up.
Mm-hmm.
So my body rejected all of this.
Right.
And I could not stop throwing up.
Yeah.
And then I just went back to sleep for another day. And when I woke up,
feeling shaky and stuff.
Yeah, I woke up and I
Well,
felt better, but I didn't go to doctors against their wishes, but I just figured I was good and my body handled it. And
well,
it's just stupid things you do when you're not thinking clearly.
It is the stupid things that we do. I mean, especially not thinking clearly and taking your own life. Like when I did what I did, the doctors at Beaumont in Romulus, they were like, man, bro, you should have been dead, man. All that morphine in you and all them Vicodins, and then on top of that, all them sleeping pills. And I believe this. I believe that God made that go away because no one else could. Those guys were like, we can't even believe you're here talking to us, and you're not in a vegetative state, because at least you would have been in some type of coma or something. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that it gives us the opportunity to tell people, hey, look, man, there's an alternative to this. That doesn't mean that we don't struggle daily. Right. The struggle's still there.
I know a lot of you who follow us, you follow Cruz in the Barrio, you think, wow, these two guys, man, they got a lot of going on. IBW Wrestling. We're here with Rox-TV. But even people like us have problems, and we suffer from depression. And so, I mean, if we could come out and talk to you guys and tell you our stories, maybe you'll find it upon yourselves to find some help, or seek a therapist or something.
Absolutely. And the thing is that just like you exactly what you hit the nail right on the head, is that when you look at us, you look at Southwest Drew, you look at Rude Boy, you look at all of us, and you say, man, what a great life they're living, and how many people love them. And we do have a lot of people that love us, but I find myself, and I found this last week at the Gathering of the Juggalos, everywhere I went, cruising the golf cart, there was so much love with all the Juggalos out there. And yet, I still went back to my hotel room alone. And that loneliness is the worst thing. The loneliness of being there with four walls just staring at you. And then that's when you start thinking. And sometimes you have to call somebody and say, hey, look, I'm not in my right state of mind right now, And it's important that you seek that help. And again, like I said, if you're in Southwest Detroit, I'm going to give the number again and the address for Chaz Clinic. It's at 5635 West 4th Street, 48209 Southwest Detroit. Take down this number, 313-849-3920. That's 313-849-3920. Call them, tell them I need help. I need some kind of mental help, and I guarantee you they will take care of you with no cost whatsoever. And both Drew and I, we've been going to Chaz Clinic since we were children. Yeah. I mean, literally children. It's a stable in the community. Yeah. And they've never asked for money ever at any time. And it's important that you reach out and you get that help, man. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. One of the things is I used to be ashamed of it. And what I found out too, Drew, when I started seeing a therapist was I've been suffering for depression long before all of this. Yeah. They said it was the day my dad died. You know, this is where they pinpointed all of this. And my self-destruction.
Yeah, I think that was when my mom died.
You see, and we've had a lot of deaths in our family and whatnot, and there's been times where I've even asked myself, God, why am I still here?
Right.
Why am I still here? And I do believe in my heart it's because of things like this where we can help people and let them know that, hey, man, you know, if Rude Boy in Southwest Drew, the toughest son of a bitches you've ever met in your life, can ask for help, so can you, you know?
That's right. We both have beautiful children.
Oh, my God, do we, man.
And we both believe in God. So, I mean, we've got some things going for us. We just, you know, need a little help along the way.
We do need a little help along the way. Everybody needs a little help along the way, and that's the truth, you know. If there was any one thing that you could say to your baby's mothers and ex-wife, what would you say to them today in your mental state?
I don't blame you for the state I'm in, and it's not your fault. Just sometimes, you know, it's like the song, you know, you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yes.
Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you don't see the forest for the trees, you know. But I have no hate in my heart for any of you. I wish you all the best, and God has given me that power to forgive.
That's
and
right.
Maybe one day I'll forget, you know. But I know it's hard. I know what you went through.
Oh.
And you're going through it right now, you know. And they say time heals, man, but I don't know.
When's that time kick in?
Right.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, and one thing, just like you said, just right then and there, is when you take the initiative and you, as a man, say, you know, it really wasn't your fault, it was my fault, you know. When you take that, accept, you know, the responsibility of where you messed up, I think that speaks volumes. I think it speaks so many volumes. One other thing, what about your children? What would you say to your kids, man?
Man. Just that I love you, and hope one day we can all get together and you know, enjoy our time we have together. And I'll always love you guys, even though sometimes, you know, I don't reach out to you every day, and maybe I should. But you're always on my mind, and I always think about you guys, all of you. And one day we'll get there.
Yeah, you know, I feel like, and let me say this to Sonia and Santana, you know, that, you know, no matter what happens, you guys will always be my babies, you know. Of course, I have other kids, but they're all grown and they're off doing their other things and stuff. And by the way, I'd like to reach out to, I would not reach out, but I'd like to say a thank you to my son, Robert, Bobby, who every day checks on me, every day calls, every day says, Dad, I just want to let you know I love you. I know you're going through a lot, but you mean the world to me. And I wasn't always the best father when it came to my older kids, because I was out chasing a dream instead of being at baseball games and being at, you know, school plays and just being there just to sit and talk, you know. And you know, for my oldest boy, Rudy, you know, he said, Dad, you know, I hated you for a long time because of you were never there for me. And he says, and every time I hear this song from Faster Pussycat, House of Pain, he says, man, that just reminds me of you. You always promised me and you weren't there. And to like my son Rudy, you know, we've been reconciled, and we have a relationship, and I'm thankful for that. But I still publicly needed to apologize to him and to Rachel and to Santonio. And you know, when you're not invited, and this is the part that hurts the worst, when you're not invited to your children's weddings, you know you messed up. You know you messed up bad. And you know, my kids are all married and stuff, and I never got to see them walk that aisle and none of that stuff. And but I'm not bitter about it, because I know it was my fault. And I caused a lot of pain to a lot of people, you know, and I blamed a lot of people. You know, I blamed my brother and sister for not being there for me, and which was bullshit. I should have never done that, you know. I know they love me, but I know they also have their own lives that they have to live too and stuff. So for them, I apologize too. But again, you know, there's, you know, and for Christy, my ex-wife, you know, I got to just tell you, man, you're an amazing woman who are taking care of my kids, and I can't thank you enough for that, you know. And hopefully one day we can be friends and see this thing through. You know, Drew, we talked about all of these different places and stuff like that. There's also a National Suicide Hotline that everyone can call. And they're 24 hours, and someone will answer. We'll get that number up on the screen shortly. But the bottom line is that you don't have, that's the worst alternative.
Right.
There's so many other ways that you could, like Drew, sitting in the backyard under the beautiful sun and just painting, you know, just painting. For myself, it's putting together the wrestling matches and putting together the playlist for Cruising the Barrio and stuff like that, you know, and still working on my book, which is going to be coming out in November, which I'm very proud of, and I'm proud of Mike Shepard for putting it together. Maybe for you out there, maybe it's taking a walk, or, you know, maybe, I don't know.
Go for a bike ride.
Right.
You know. Go for a drive in your car. You could find something that you like doing. Put on some headphones and take a walk through the park, you know.
There you go, man. There you go.
And also, I know we talked about Chaz and everything, but when you have a good support group like we do, I mean, I have my brother Rudy here. I could call him anytime.
That's right.
And you know,
and I can call you anytime.
But also there are people in my life that I would like to thank, if I could. People that have always been there when I call at 3:00 in the morning because I can't sleep. My best friend Nick, Paulie Vino. I know you work a lot, but you're always respond to my calls. Tina, Colette, and her brother John. Tina, my best friend in Tennessee, and Brian Mona.
Brian,
I've known you almost all my life, brother. Yeah. Jackie, Jacqueline Howard. She's been there when I needed her. And Steve and Jossie Scoggins, man, these are some of the people that I have that will accept my phone call at 3 a.m, you know, and they don't judge me, you know, and they try to help me with whatever's going on. So if you have a few friends that are like family, I know family, you could call on them, but, you know, sometimes your friends are your family.
Yeah,
and,
no doubt. No doubt. You know, another thing, Drew, for those of you who are watching who are not suffering from any type of mental illness, maybe you could be that friend that someone could reach out to. Maybe you could be that one, because you can always tell when there's a problem. just by looking at someone's face, and you'll know. And it's not about embarrassing anyone. It's about pulling them to the side and saying, "Hey, man, is everything okay?" That little gesture means so much to someone who is suffering from depression, anxiety, and whatnot. If you just sit there and say, "Hey, look, I want you to know the phone is on anytime you need me," but mean it and be sincere about it. It can make wonders. It can really it's like a miracle. And I would advise you, and I would advise you to reach out to those who you feel is not in the right state of mind. And you don't ever want to get that call at 3 o'clock in the morning that your best friend has hung himself or took too many pills or whatever. You don't want to get that phone call. And one other last thing I want to do before we wrap everything up is I want to apologize. I want to apologize to all of those people when I did take all of those pills and everybody was and I did shoot that text to everybody. And they all were there at the hospital, and they were all, I want to say a very special apology to my mother-in-law, Kathy Jamroz, who I know I put her through so much that night and have put her through so much in weeks after that. She was there. She told me the day that my mom died, "Don't worry, you still have a mother." And I pray to God that still stands today. Rob Bruce, you guys know him as Jump Steady. Rachel, his girlfriend, they were both at the hospital right there. And even though no one could see me, they were right there taking the time to make sure I was okay. Like I said, my granddaughter Yasmin, she made sure that they kicked in that door for me to live. I'm thankful for them, and I apologize to them. I apologize to my boys, Tariq Selmasi, who, I just sent him the text and I told him I loved him, and I sincerely loved him, and I knew I was gonna be leaving. And so to all of you guys out there that I did that to, man, I once again I gotta apologize. I want to apologize to my brother John and my sister Kathy, and my sister-in-law Kelly, who's been nothing but a savior to me and has really helped me get back on my feet in ways that is just amazing, and I'm so thankful for her. I'm thankful for I'm thankful for everybody, but these are the people that needed to be acknowledged as far as both of us go. Right. And but before we wrap it up, though, Drew, last few things that I want to address. Is that what do you got going on from this day forward as far as you in your mental state? How are you dealing with it? And again, then after that, I want you to tell them where they can see you again in all of your art and stuff, because this has been, believe it or not, this has been therapeutic for both of us to reach out to people.
Right. Basically, just try to keep busy, keep my mind off of certain things. And I didn't think my daughter's mom, Melinda, she checks on me every day, every single day, like clockwork. And I would just wanted to thank her for that. And anybody else that I forgot, anybody else that I forgot, I'm sorry. Don Mendoza, I know you're there all the time too, but I just I have to stay busy. I have to keep painting. I have to keep working on my relationship with my kids, and I'm gonna get through this.
You are.
I'd like to get back into therapy, and I got to make a few phone calls for that, and I just get my stuff together, man.
Let me say this before you go any further. Jen Vaughn, who has given you some opportunities.
That's right.
Through your art. Let's talk about her and what you're doing with that organization, because that's a big organization.
Yeah, that's it's the Mead One. Foundation, and she helps local artists here in Detroit and gives them a platform to display their artwork. And she's doing really great things. I've been invited to a couple of the pop-up art shows at the DeQuinder Cut Freight Yard, which is a beautiful place, man.
Oh, yeah. If you haven't seen it, look it up right here on Rox-TV. We did a special from there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep. So, yeah, she's a really great lady, and hopefully I continue to work with her, and she can open up some doors for me as far as my artwork. If you want to look me up, The Hood Picasso on Facebook, The Hood Picasso SWD on Instagram, and Southwest True on Twitter. And I'm always available for work as far as painting.
You do customs, right?
Yeah, I can do customs. I've done a lot of customs. A lot of people come to me with their favorite character, and I put together a little piece for them. And most of my work is one of a kind. So if you order something from me, nobody else is going to have it. I just started these new pieces for Chicano Fest coming up at the Michigan Squeeze Station on September 18th.
They're going to be debuted?
They're going to be debuted there. There are a couple similar paintings in various colors, but they're still one of a kind. And then this weekend we're going to be at the Hamtramck Festival.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Yep. IBW Wrestling. My artwork will be on display. Cruising the Barrio is going to be there.
That's right. We're going to be there live.
We'll be there live. So, I mean, just staying busy and keeping my mind clear. And I think that's going to be my best remedy to get past all this.
Any final words you'd like to say to the people?
Yeah, like we said, don't be afraid to get help. Do what's best for yourself. Your body knows whether the medication is working. So work with your doctor, and don't be afraid to tell your doctor that you don't think this is working. You know, challenge him. You know, there's not just one medicine that they give you. There are a few medicines out there that are approved that might work for you. You know.
Yeah.
And like I said, use your friends. There's somebody out there that has to love you enough to accept your 3 a.m., even if it's a drunk phone call.
Right.
You know? And, you know, I mean, I'm sure there's a person out there you could find that'll sit there and cry with you.
Yeah.
And get you through whatever you're going through.
Yeah.
And Rudy put up the number for Chaz, so look them up. They might be able to help you, you know. Don't give up, you know. Try to not go down that road of suicide, and things are going to work out for better. Pray to God, you know. Try it. You know, it might even work for you. You know, a prayer might go a long way and help you out. That's all I got.
Well, I got to tell you guys something. I want to thank you once again for being a part of this special. Once again, Chaz Clinic, 5635 West 4th Street in Detroit, Michigan, 313-849-3920. Call them. They will, I promise you, they will help you in any way, and it's absolutely free, and they'll put you in programs where you don't have to worry about insurance and you don't have to worry about nothing like that. A couple more people that I forgot to acknowledge that I've had really, really deep conversations with as far as my mental state is gone, and one of them is Nancy Encarnacion from the Bronx. She's one of them people, like you said. I could call her at 3 a.m. and she'd answer my phone call like on the spot. Same with, Tanya Zaffer. She's the same thing, and Carlito Hill. I could go literally into his room at 3-4 o'clock in the morning and bawl my eyes out, and he'll be there for me, and that's important, But the final words that I have to say is, you're not too strong. You're not a machine. You're not made of metal. You're a human being. It's okay to cry. It's okay for those emotions to come out. But more than that, it is okay to make sure you ask for help, because there are no mind readers in this world. And again, thank you for joining us for this very special thing. This really meant a lot for me and Drew to come out here and talk to you guys, and it took a lot of courage. Thank you, brother. That's Drew.
Right.
And we, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please inbox us, DM us. You can find Drew on Facebook. What's your Facebook handle?
Southwest Drew.
Southwest Drew. You can check him out. You can check me out, Rudy Hill. And we love you. And, God loves you too, man. Just like my brother said, say a prayer. Say a prayer for me. I say one for you. We'll see you next time. God bless you.
God bless you.
Sit. That was good, man. That was good.
Mm-hmm. Joints.